Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 57 of That Side Character, and this one is titled Lovers. You paused and then shook your head. I don't really know where to start, you admitted. My dad and I don't have the best relationship, and now he doesn't approve of Kenma, my boyfriend Kenma. Well, he doesn't approve of anything I do, to be honest. Did he meet Kenma? She asked. Yeah, you sighed. And it didn't go down real well. My bag is at Kenma's, and I'm going to stay there tonight. I just don't want to go back home, and the prom is coming up, and I want to get a nice outfit to wear, but I don't think I can save up enough to buy something before then. I don't get paid a lot here. Lolita's heart went out to you. She really liked you, and thought of you as a daughter that she never had. Oh, don't you worry your little heart about that, she said kindly. Just focus on yourself for now, and if there's anything you need, please let me know. You nodded. Thanks, you said softly. I don't want to be a burden to anyone else, though. All I do is burden people. You are not a burden, she said sternly. You're a lovely ray of happiness, and don't you let anyone tell you otherwise. There was something about how lovely and kind Lolita was that made you emotional, and your eyes filled with happy tears. Oh, don't cry, Lolita tutted, bobbling up and down as she got up and toddled over to give you a hug. You couldn't help but start crying now. She was very kind to you, and you had done nothing to deserve her kindness. Thank you for being nice to me, you sobbed into her. Oh, it's the least I can do, she said as she held you close. Now go and spend some time with the kiddies. They always cheer you up. If you want to talk, I'm right here. You nodded and sniffed, then headed into the cat section so you could get them all sorted for the evening. Even though your mind was in turmoil, you felt at peace. You had Kenma and you had Lolita, and that's all that mattered to you. You felt safe with both of them. What do I do about Dad, though? You picked up the broom and swept the floor. I don't want to go back home, especially after that last interaction with him. I just don't like being around him full stop. Is there any way I could just cut him out of my life? You kept sweeping, focusing on your work as you tidied up the place. Lolita had been keeping an ear out for you, listening to your movements in the other room in case you called out for her or something. Oh, poor darling, she thought as she sat at the front desk slowly sipping her coffee. It's hard coming from a family that doesn't want or appreciate you. She thought about how you said you wanted to get a prom dress and smiled to herself. Getting Yin an outfit for her prom is a given. She's a good girl, she just needs someone to care for her right now. She smiled to herself. It's the least I can do for her. It was late when you returned back to Kenma's house, but he was still awake. Oh, what are you doing awake? You asked when he met you at the front door. I was waiting for you, he replied, like it was the only option he had. Oh, thanks, you said with a grateful smile. He let you in, and you followed him up to his room. Hey, Pi, I'm going to need to borrow a shirt, you said sheepishly. I didn't really have time to grab anything from the house when we left. That's okay, he said with a nod as he continued to press buttons on his PSP. Help yourself. Thanks, Pi, you said as you hopped up onto his bed with him. Okay, Apple, he said, still focusing on his PSP. Pi? You asked as you crawled closer and tilted your head a little to catch his attention. He looked at you from the corner of his eye. Did you mean it when you said you loved me? He paused his game and looked at you, his face inches from yours. Yes, he said softly. You felt giddy, and a smile took over your features as you remained on all fours next to him. Slowly you leaned in, while he leaned in towards you, and then you kissed. You stayed at Kenma's that night, snug and safe and warm in his bed while he slept on the floor. The next morning you woke up a split second after you'd fallen out of bed and onto Kenma on the floor, and all hell broke loose. Ah! You screeched as your dead weight landed on him. Uh-huh, Kenma rasped, sitting bolt upright with you across his lap. I didn't! You screeched. What? I didn't see anything! I don't know anything! You screeched. I don't know what you're talking about, Kenma said in his raspy morning voice. Neither do I, he replied, now having woken up a little more and realizing that you weren't in a dreamland, still dreaming about unsavory things. Good morning, Kenma yawned, putting a hand to his mouth to stifle it. Morning, you replied, cat stretching across his lap and sneezing when Kenma the cat walked past your face and wiped his tail under your nose. You got ready for school at Kenma's house that morning and went to school with him, wondering what you were going to do about clothes and stuff for the next few days if you weren't going home. Dad usually doesn't stay at home for long, and then he's off again on some other work trip or whatever, you thought as you walked beside Kenma, who was on his PSP. I guess I can have a look at the house this afternoon. If he's there, then I won't go home, but if he's gone, then I'll go in and grab some stuff. Kenma had been side-glancing at you while you walked together. He could tell something was on your mind because of how you hadn't said a word since you and he had left the house that morning. Are you okay? He asked softly as he tapped his PSP. Me? Oh, yeah, I guess, you said with a shrug. I'm just wondering if I should go home and get more clothes this afternoon. I'll come with you, Kenma offered. Okay, thanks, he said with a smile. Has your dad tried to call you? Kenma asked, still not looking up from his game. No, well, I don't know. I blocked his number on my phone a while ago and just told him my phone was out of credit. Why does he need to call or text me anyway? Any message I get from him is always like negative and all like, you need to answer when I call, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. Okay, Kenma said softly. Well, are you going to stay with me now? Am I allowed to? You asked him. I haven't even met your mum or dad. It should be fine, he said, still tapping away on his game. What if it's not? You asked in a worried voice. Kenma was going to reply to you, but you'd gotten to school by then, and Kuro met you both at the gate. Ah, it's my favourite couple, Kuro teased, giving Kenma a sly look. Shut up, Kuro, Kenma said with a sour look on his face. Oh, come on now, no need to be shy, Kuro jeered with a smirk. And what have you two been up to? Well, if you must know, I stayed over at Kazu's place last night, and... Yin, don't say anything else to him. He just wants to tease me about it later, Kenma warned you. Huh? Pudding, is there something you want to tell me? Kuro leered at his friend. What happened during the sleepover? Nothing, Kenma replied quickly, stepping forwards to go around Kuro. You went to follow him while Kuro turned his interrogation on you. Come on, sidekick-chan. What happened? Just ignore him, Yin, Kenma said back to you, and you gave Kuro a guilty look but didn't give him any more information. Instead, just jogged a little to catch up to your boyfriend. Kuro followed on behind with a smirk on his face. He knew Kenma was an innocent soul, but he could also tell that if anyone was going to pull the deviant side out of his shy friend, it would be you. And that's why I did cut out a little section there, but it is available to be read on my site. Most of you know Quirky Fanfics by now. There are a few little sections that are probably not YouTube worthy. Oh, look, worthy is probably not the right word, but YouTube would not appreciate these little segments, so I've cut them out. But they are, or the full book is available on my site, and nothing has been cut from the book, so it's always there. Anyway, stay tuned for the next chapter coming tomorrow, 58. I'll see you then.